So a few years ago, a client came to me with chronic low back pain. They'd been in agony for months, bouncing between specialists, physios, and painkillers. Eventually, their GP sent them for an MRI scan, and they were convinced that this was going to be finally it. The big reveal. The thing that would explain why they couldn't sit, they couldn't sleep, or they couldn't walk without pain. The scan came back. Normal age-related changes. No major disc bulge, no fracture, nothing dramatic. They left the GP's office stunned, deflated, and questioning everything. Still in pain, but now completely disorientated. If there's no visible problem, why the hell does it hurt so much? Was it all in their head? That moment, walking out with more questions than answers, left them feeling not just confused, but invalidated. Like maybe it was their fault, maybe it was in their head, maybe they were making it up. In fact, this is one of the most common pain stories I hear. And it all comes back to one thing. We still massively misunderstand what pain actually is. Most people are taught that pain equals damage. Pain is a sign something is broken, torn, or inflamed. And really that kind of thinking makes intuitive sense, because pain feels like something is wrong. If you twist your ankle and it hurts, you assume the pain equals damage, and that damage is the source of the pain. That works well for short-term injuries, but when pain lingers, shifts, or flares without a clear cause, that model kind of falls apart. And while pain can be related to tissue damage, that's really not the whole story. Stay with me here. So pain is an output from the brain and the nervous system. It's not a signal that comes from the body, it's a decision made by the brain based on all of the information that it's been receiving. Here's how I explain it to my clients. Your brain is constantly gathering messages from the body. What's happening in the tissues? What am I seeing? What am I hearing? Smelling? What's my past experience with this kind of sensation? What do I believe about my body? If those messages lean more towards danger than they do safety, your brain will protect you. And one of the main ways it does that is with pain. Because pain's job, above everything else, is protection. It's not punishment and it's not weakness. It's a warning system that says, whoa, slow down, pay attention, something here could be wrong. The problem is that the warning system can become too sensitive, especially when you've had pain for a long time, you've gone through a period of stress, fear, anxiety, injury, you've had poor sleep. Your nervous system starts to learn that pain is the safe choice. This is called neuroplasticity, your brain and nervous system's ability to adapt, which also helps explain why chronic pain often gets worse over time. The more the brain processes pain in response to that perceived threat, the more it wires that response in. It's like practicing a skill. The more you rehearse it, the stronger and more automatic it becomes. Over time, the brain gets better at producing pain, even if the original injury has long healed. That's how protective systems, meant to keep you safe, end up overfiring and keeping you stuck. But this is actually good news, because if pain is learned, it can also be unlearned. And that starts with changing the way that you understand it. Let me be really clear here. Pain is 100% real 100% of the time. Just because something doesn't show up on a scan doesn't mean it's imaginary. Scans can show us structural changes like disc bulges or fractures, but they don't show us how sensitive your nervous system is. They can't measure fear, past trauma, stress, beliefs, or nervous system reactivity. All of these play a major role in how much pain you feel. So the scan might be quote unquote normal, but the nervous system might still be on high alert. And that's what creates the disconnect. Pain is a sensory and emotional experience. It lives in the brain, but it's not all in your head. It's influenced by your body, your history, your beliefs, your environment, your emotions, and even your expectations. But it can change. Understanding pain from this perspective is often the moment people feel like they're back in control for the first time in years. It's the start of stepping out of fear and into action. This is what I do with clients. I help them retrain their nervous system to feel safe again, to move from fear to freedom, from stuck to strong. You don't need to ignore pain or fight it, you need to listen to it differently. If this helps shift something for you, let me know. I'm creating resources right now for people who are stuck in pain, burnout, or stress who want a different way forward.